Here we are down at the Lane County Fairgrounds. I'm Eric Mahaffy, and we're going to get a chance to go out and check out some beautiful model trains. Come with me.
We're here at the Lane County Fairgrounds. This is our 16th year for doing a model railroad show and swap meet.
Model Railroad Show and Swap Meet.
Yes.
So what exactly does that mean?
What that means is we have operating layouts in 4 different scales here where people can come in and view trains actually moving on a scenic layouts. We have vendors, 180 tables that we're selling railroad merchandise. That could be model trains, it could be memorabilia, it could be old paper, old timetables. We cover everything from A to Z.
Old timetables? So you mean the train timetables?
Yes. A lot of the timetables now don't offer passenger service other than Amtrak these days. And some of the people collect the old timetables back in when all the Class 1 railroads offered passenger rail service.
Oh, nice. So I also saw there's piles of magazines and books.
Those are all resources. We have books, we have magazines, we have how-to books on the hobby, how to do scenery, how to do wiring, electrical, just about any aspect of model railroading is covered.
Wow. And I saw there's like all kinds of trains and how many different groups are here?
Oh, different groups, probably 60 different groups, and we probably have about 6 different model railroad clubs here. The Willamette Cascade Model Railroad Club is the oldest club in Eugene, Springfield, and we are the sponsor of this show for the 16th year in a row.
So you are part of Willamette Cascade,
right?
And you're putting on the show here.
Willamette Cascade is the sponsor of this show financially as well as publicity-wise. And the Fairgrounds people here with Linda Ross Smith and all the others involved have been absolutely terrific in making accommodations for us.
Well, that's absolutely great. I think what surprises me about this is how many people are into trains, how many people enjoy trains, and how many people enjoy this as a hobby. It is stunning to me about the amount of effort and the skill and the beauty involved in putting some of these together. Trains are seriously addictive. I've met people from all walks of life who absolutely love trains.
Gauge on the floor, and so we put a trailer together just for a circle. And while I was sitting there through the swap meet, these ladies would come by with their children, and they just loved it because they said, boy, we don't have to hold the kids here. They can just look down at it, and we can walk around. We really enjoy this.
Oh, really?
And so
a 2-year-old can see it really, really well.
Oh, so it's set up for a young kid then?
Yeah, so for children can really see everything.
And then I came home, and I was thinking, boy, I wonder if a person could put that on a trailer and then maybe pull it and see what would happen. And so I went out and we was riding around one day, and I found this old trailer frame. It's a 1951 travel trailer about 30 feet long.
You're telling me that this whole setup is on wheels?
It's on wheels, yep. It was all rusted and was a mess, so I went in and talked to the guy. I said, who is it that owns it? And he said, my brother. And I said, would he like to sell it? And he said, I'm quite sure he would. So I called him, and he said, yeah. He says, I'd like to sell it, but I got a bad wheel bearing in it. And I said, well, that's all right. What are you going to want for it? Well, I'd like to have $150. I said, all right, I'll go ahead and take a chance. So I went ahead, and we pulled it home, and I have 2 other fellas that we were haying at that time. And this one young fella, he did a lot of welding and cutting and building trailers for his father, who was handling cattle. And so he owed some money in the haying, and I said, what do you think? I said, you want to cut this down and do some welding? And sure. So we cut it down from 30-some feet to about 24 feet.
So it would fit in the garage. So it would fit in the garage.
And so the entire reason of cutting...
That much room.
It has to fit in the garage. And so after we got it all done, we painted it all up, and the third fella came by, and he wanted to know if he could use my other 16-foot trailer for haying. And he said the kids wanted to have, in the parade, they wanted a float. I said, sure, go ahead. I said, I don't think we'll be needing it. And he looked down at this trailer frame, and he said, what on earth is that? I said, that's another one of my trailers. And what are you going to do with it? And I said, thought I'd haul my train around on that. Oh, you and your trains. He said, all right. He said, what are you going to put on it for a floor? I said, well, I've got to get some of that thick stuff. Yeah, well, don't do nothing. So we went home and came back the next morning, and here's 7 sheets of the big 1 1/4-inch plywood for the floor. And I said, when he came, I said, well, now what's that going to cost me? Well, he said, no. He said, we've used your trailer for 4 or 5 years now for the kids. And he says, so we'll go ahead and...
Do you use your trailer?
Yeah, he used the trailer. And so we went ahead and we put the deck on it, put the trailer on, got ready for a parade in Lebanon. And we put the train on, and it stayed on the track. That was the thing.
So wait. You got this trailer, you set it up with a train on it, you're running it around in parades.
Right.
You don't pull this thing.
No, what I do is I have a little set of dolly wheels I put underneath it. Then I hitch it to my ATV. And my ATV, she drives. I ride on the seat here. I'm able to take my transformer, because it's radio controlled. I disconnect my transformer from 110. I go right over and plug it into the external power on my ATV, which is 12 volt. I'm able to run 2 trains as she pulls me through the parade. We've been in 11 parades with it, and then we do a lot of static displays like this. We've kind of been here, there, and everywhere else with it.
We started off with regular G-gauge houses, and they were so large that 3 of them fit in the city. And I came to Eugene one time, and we're at a craft store, and they had these birdhouses. So I came home with 3 birdhouses, and I said, how about birdhouses? And he says, oh, they'll laugh me off. They're the wrong size. And long story short, we have over 30 birdhouses that make a city, a farm, and the logging scene. So they're all birdhouses, all the homes are.
So the homes are birdhouses. The trailer's designed to be in a parade. This is a train you pull with an ATV. And you came up with all this on your own, I assume.
Yeah, it's the first one I've ever seen. I didn't know if it was going to work, but it did. It came through pretty good. And
It only derailed in one town, and in Malala, Oregon. They had so many holes, I couldn't miss the holes. And that was the only derailing we did.
we had a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
Harrisburg, I think, has 5 train tracks we crossed, and we didn't derail in that at all. Not at all.
These are designed for a garden railroad. You can take these trains and put them out through your shrubbery, and the track is plastic ties with brass rail, so it can stay out all year long, and you can run the trains all year long. Even up in Canada, where they get a little bit of snow, they even put snow plows on and go out and plow the snow off the tracks. So they're pretty versatile, and so I'm getting to the point now where I didn't have any trouble getting down on the ground to build it. It was getting back up is where my problem was. So I figured if I put it on a trailer, I could just scoot around with my dolly and not have to go through that. Anyway, this is just a fun thing we started with, and it's turned into be kind of a family project, and so we've been really having a good time with it. When we get tired of it, we'll go ahead and...
Now he has a flatbed truck that he's put a layout on. And we can pull it with a truck and have 3 trains running.
Oh, gee, so you're basically going to put a flatbed truck with a train on it, pull this with the truck, and keep right on going.
Yeah, we'll be able to run the 3 because I can take the train control and I just run the wire right through and plug it into the cigarette lighter. And I then get enough power. I get enough power that I can go ahead and run 3 trains as well.
That came about because Storybook Land does the Veterans Parade in Albany, and they needed something to go with Santa Claus. So we put a train on the flatbed, and it went over so big that we proceeded to make a whole city.
You two are priceless. This is a great idea, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of both of you. Thank you very much.